Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit with Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do The Collective for tonight, Saturday, December 28th, 2024. You may follow me on the book, the Insta, the talk, the tube, the lemonade, the blue sky social, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, that's fabulous. We love that for you. If some of it does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the True Emotional Oracle deck, oil painting style cards. Dun, dun, dun. I got mine off of Amazon, as always. Sorry, as soon as I start talking, my right eye feels as though it has something in it. Because why wouldn't it? Oh, I forgot to turn on my lights. Festive. Oh, the little things make us happy. And that's a good thing. We got one on the table. Three on the table. Okay. Five on the table. The doggies. I'm getting excited. I'm going to have sushi for dinner. Sushi. I mean, it makes sense. I had a burger for breakfast, so. We got six on the table. Probably like two more shuffles, maybe. Seven on the table. Let's do one more ish, maybe. Eight on the table. Nine on the table. Damn. This is the second time today. Wow. I'm going to set these over here on the deck box on the sill. I closed the window. It was getting chilly. You still hear the dogs bark, though. There's a lot of them out there. Okay. We got Secluded. This came out in reverse. Sex Addiction. We've got Ashamed. Running. Divine Feminine. Spiritual. Effed Up. Fucked Up Over You. Closing the cycle. Round and round. Bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. I know, divine feminine. You can flitch. You could switch that to divine masculine. if that's the only thing that isn't resonating for you. This is the second time today we got this. Yeah. I like seeing this. I like seeing that. Because we should be closing out cycles. And we're going into 2025. We should not be holding on to past bullshit either. Honestly. I mean, easier said than done, but you know what I'm saying. Someone's in seclusion right now. This is someone with the sex addiction in reverse. This is a sex addict, but they're getting help. Probably why they're in seclusion. You know, trying to keep their distance from the ladies or the gents, one or the other. Or both, I don't know. This person feels ashamed. This person ran from a divine feminine. They followed their sex addictions. This person knows that this divine feminine is spiritual. This person is also going through an awakening of their own. Okay. And there was some kind of downward spiral. There was something that led this person to seek help for their addiction. So whether they caught a case, you know, got an STD, a disease, whether there was some type of intervention by family or friends, whether this person just woke up one morning and said, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know. Could be all those things, right? It could be. Underneath it all, it's just someone that's fed up with the lifestyle. It's just someone that's fed up with jumping from sack to sack, bed to bed. I said sack to sack, but whatever. Chair to chair, back seat to back seat. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They were tired. This person could be older or like younger. Because if you're younger, you just think like, oh, I'm sowing my oats. It's not a big deal. But then you kind of wake up and you're like, wait a minute. Like, is it normal to be 20 years old and having slept with 2,000 people? Let's see. And if this is an older person, it's just someone realizing, you know, like, what am I going to be, 60 and 70 and still sleeping with a different person every night? And if this person has an STD now, how many STDs are they going to have by the time they're 60 or 70? Let's do the math. I mean, you could take technically the STDs out of the equation if you would use a condom. I'm just saying. Just saying. This is someone that's fucked up over this divine feminine. It's like somebody going like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Because you got to realize in this person's mind at the time, whenever they ran from this divine feminine, they did it because they thought the feminine wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, well, they're not enough. Like, I like choices. I like options. I like different flavors every day, you know? And now this person's realizing like, well, fuck, I had the best possible choice, the best possible option, the best possible flavor the whole time. And then I ran from it and Like, what did I run to? I mean, they ran to a void. That's what addiction is. It's a void. You're filling a void within. So they ran to nothing. You know, people always think like, oh, well, I'm being single. I'm out there. I can sleep with whoever I want, date whoever I want, go out to dinner with whoever I want, fuck over whoever I want. But really, in reality, when you behave like that and you think like that, you're not running towards someone or something. You're running towards nothing. Because, like I said, you're just trying to fill a void within. And what you're running to is another void. Because unless you're going to make some type of commitment, build a relationship, what is the point? And if you're sleeping with people that are like you, you know, like if you're just going to bars and picking up chicks or dudes, or you're just, you know, whatever, you're just a different person every night wherever you pick them up, more than likely they do the same type of thing. More than likely, you know, not necessarily, but more than likely. So again, you're running towards nothing. You're filling a void with a void. I've never been addicted to sex, alcohol, drugs. And again, it's just it's a void, to fill a void. There's nothing there. Like, I can pop a gummy and feel something for a couple hours and then it's gone. It's nothing. Same thing with alcohol. When I was drinking, you know, I would drink when I was binging, my God, like I would drink and drink and drink and drink. But at the end of the day, what are you left with? A hangover. You're not left with anything substantial. You're not left with something that's going to love you back and take care of you. You're left with nothing. It's what addiction is. It's filling a void with a void. This person is realizing that. I just breathed in air wrong. Now I feel the need to cough. I know if I cough, I'm going to strain my shoulder and my neck, and I'm going to want to punch the wall. Okay, that wasn't that bad, but that did not help. This person is closing that cycle of their life, the sex addiction. Like, they're working on it. They're spiritual chaos, ego death, downward spiral, spiritual awakening, separation, reflection, soul searching. Like, this person is working on it. They don't want to go back to that. This person is probably I would assume with sex addiction that they would be getting some type of therapy. That's just, I would assume. You know, alcoholics tend to go to AA. I mean, they could go to therapy too, but they tend to go to AA. Same thing with addicts, you know. Sex addiction, I mean, there's a group that meets for sex addiction, obviously. But I would think that I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Sex is easy to come by. You don't even need to pay for it. I mean, you can, obviously, but really you don't need to pay for it. If you find someone willing to have sex with you, you get sex for free. So, in my mind, that is going to be a lot easier to come by than alcohol and drugs. In my mind, I would probably go to therapy for that type of addiction. I mean, I would technically go to therapy for any addiction, but I'm just saying, like, sex addiction is, to me, that just seems like a whole other animal. And I would think that somebody would want to get some professional help with that one. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. So this person is closing out this cycle, working on this, trying to get over their addiction, trying to put it behind them, go forward in a new direction. And with the round and round cycles, triggers, and lessons, I mean, to me, that's this person dealing with this. To me, again, this person would be going to some type of therapy session and discussing all of this with a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever you want to, whatever. Now, if you're this divine feminine that they ran from, or again, divine masculine, I'm just saying divine feminine because that's the card. You take how that resonates. Whoever this person is to you, you might have already closed this cycle yourself. Like whoever this person is, depending on when you were with this person, how long you've been apart. Like if we're talking, I mean, even months to years, you might have already moved on. Your ass might have been out the door and you were like, well, this isn't. And depending on how long you knew this person, if it was only a couple months, like, I can't remember what they used to say. I should look this up again and see. You can Google it. I've Googled it before. I think they usually tell you, like, and I think it's different for men and women, but when you date somebody, for however long you date them, I think it's men take twice as long to heal from that relationship and women take 3 times as long, or maybe it's vice versa. So anyway, like if I dated somebody for a year and we break up, it could take me anywhere from 2 to 3 years to actually get over that situation, that person. It's a theory. And I think the 2 to 3 years would like literally be, it's like a grieving process because don't get me wrong, in that 2 to 3 years, earlier on, you're probably going to think you're over it when really you're not. I think that's kind of how the healing process gets you. Like it fools you. You're like, well, I'm over it. I'm done. And then like a month later, you're like, oh my God, I'm not over it. And it happens. It happens. And I personally think getting over people, getting over relationships, whether it's lovers, friends, family members, I personally think that takes a good long while. A good long while. Now, you guys know, like, the ex-best friend and I were friends for 30 plus years. Is it going to take me 60 years to get over it? No. Like, I pretty much am done and over with that. Like, that's over for me. And it's now been a little over 2 years. But then again, there was extenuating circumstances with my case. There was abuse there. And when I've come to the realization when somebody abuses me, that's pretty much cut and dry for me. Like, I'm out the door, I'm done. Am I still going to grieve what I remembered that person to be? Yes. But a little over 2 years later, like, you know, again, I wish her well in all her endeavors and hope that she gets to heal. But other than that, I don't want any contact with her ever again. So 2 years ish. I mean, I don't think that's that horrible. And again, for me, like I probably would have said, like maybe a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, that I was done healing, done healing from it. And then weeks later, months later, being like, oh, yeah, I wasn't done. I'm not done. I think it's just part of the grieving process, honestly. And obviously not everybody's the same, but that was my experience with that. I also two things here. When I look at this running card, like it's two people running and they look like they're playing in the field. I think originally this person was running towards this divine feminine, like excited, like to be with them. But then in the end thinking like, well, you're not going to be enough for me. Like, like I can't do this. I don't mean to be crass, but I can't do this and do this at the same time. Like, they just didn't want to make that commitment. They couldn't, honestly. I mean, if you're an addict and you're addicted to this, you're not going to be able to commit to one person. Not honestly. And I think, I'm just going to say it, the shame card, guilt, embarrassed, in the wrong. I think this person knew when they ran towards this divine feminine that they weren't going to be able to hack it, that they weren't going to be able to make it work, because they already knew that they had sex issues, addictions. But they thought, okay, well, maybe I'll give it a try and see, give it a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever. And honestly, I think this person was embarrassed and felt guilty the whole time that they were with this divine feminine, because they knew that they were going to walk away, that they were going to run away. Because at the time, this was very prevalent for them. And I'm just going to say it, whether you agree or not, whether you have your own experiences with it or not. Sex addiction, not 100% of the time, but typically stems from people that have issues with sex. So molestation, SA, things like that. Has to do with being reprimanded as a kid for masturbation, things like that. Like having unhealthy views towards your body because somebody put that there. And then as you get older and you start to get into sexual situations, like as a teenager and on, sometimes sooner, you realize you like it, you enjoy it. Why are people telling you it's bad? Why are people telling you it's not okay? Why are, and just kind of getting yourself into this mindset, well, it's not bad. I can do it whenever I want. I'm an adult. And just kind of rolling with it and not really thinking about it until later when you're like, holy shit, in the last 5 years, I've had sex with 600 people. That's a lot. That is a lot. Am I going to judge you for it? No. People do what they do for whatever reason. Again, whether they're abused or not, like, it is what it is. Everybody, like I said in one of the other videos, everybody has a past. The thing is, are you eventually going to recognize it? Are you going to fix it? Or you think you're going to keep doing that, as you go through your 20s, your 40s, your 60s? Like, are you going to be that old man or old woman in the nursing home that's jumping from bed to bed, room to room? it's not a very fulfilling lifestyle. Again, like I said, it's a void filling a void. There's like no point to that. I feel something like right here on my head, almost like tapping, but from the inside out. Is that weird? Maybe somebody's trying to send me a Morse code telepathically. Ding, 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 ding. Not everybody gets involved in sex addiction because of abuse. I realize that. But it is prevalent, you know? When you're abused, you tend to be over sexualized. I mean, as someone that was abused in all kinds of ways as a kid, sexual, emotional, mental, verbal, well, physically as an adult, but I was always more curious about my own body than anybody else's. And I think I might have talked to you guys about this. You know, I was sexually assaulted at the age of 4 by a cousin and 3 of his friends. And it was just touching, like inappropriate touching that just shouldn't. I mean, why would your cousin do that? Why would anybody do that to a 4-year-old, first of all? But anyway, I was very over sexualized. Like I started masturbating at a very young age, like probably like 6 or 7. I'm not kidding. I was that little kid that was humping their pillow. I was humping, my stuffed animal. It just was what it was. I was always curious about my own body. I was a virgin until I was 30 when I had sex for the first time with a man. But I always masturbated, always. And I was always more curious about my own body. And I think what that really stems from is, why do men find our bodies so attractive? Like, what is it about women? What is it about young women? What is it about little girls that certain men find attractive? Because when I tell you that after I was assaulted at the age of 4, from then on, I could always tell. I could always look a boy, a young man, a man in the eye, and I could tell if they were thinking about me like that. I could just tell. And this is going to sound sick, but this is part of what happens when you're abused at such a young age. Like, if they weren't interested in me like that, if they didn't look at me like that, if I looked them in the eye and I saw no interest, I would try and make them interested. I knew I was doing that. I knew I was doing that. That's a part of abuse. Like, I was just, in my mind, like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Not really thinking about, some people are just mentally ill. Some people just have diseases of the mind. Some men, some women are just attracted to children. It is what it is. Is it disgusting? Yes, it is. Should it happen? No. But as someone that was abused, it's kind of like, okay, like I need to find the answers for myself. And as a kid, I was doing this. As a teenager, I was doing this. As a young adult, I was doing this. I guess you could say I was performing my own personal sex study, I guess. And it's not even like I would try and make men interested in me with the intention of actually sleeping with them, because honestly, like, that wasn't even an interest of mine. Again, I didn't lose my virginity till I was 30, but it was always in the back of my head, well, why are they not interested? Like, that dude's interested, but that dude's not interested. And it took me a while to realize, like, well, because that dude's disgusting. That dude has an issue, a mental health issue. That dude does not, you know? Or dudette. I mean, for me, it was men specifically, but I mean, for someone else, it could have been females, you know? Actually, I think it wasn't until I was older that I realized that I attract a lot of both sexes, honestly. There's nothing in this rating to say that this person is coming back. I wouldn't even, like, to me, that's not even, it's not in the cards. It's not an option. I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not hearing somebody tell me it. So, and my guess would be whoever this person is, they're healing. I think this is just some kind of, not a warning, but like a, I don't know, just, hey, remember so and so from your past that ran away? This is what happened to them. I mean, hopefully, if anything, the struggle with their addiction makes them stronger. And hopefully, they have the will to overcome it. It's not easy. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm not feeling anything else. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday night. Saturday. I just watched Better Off Dead. I think I'm going to watch Virgin River next. I guess the new season is on Netflix. We'll see what's going on with that. And then probably to bed early. Probably get up and go to the lake again in the morning. We'll see. Maybe not. All right. I hope everybody enjoys their evening. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.